guys, welcome back to my channel. Wait, this is my COVID vaccination card. Let's put that there. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. This is another sit down video. I have not done one of these in a really long time, but ironically, by the title of this video, I am out of things that I want to make, and so I need inspiration. Whether you are a casual role player or a speed builder on YouTube, or maybe you are just a builder who really loves making new things and you're really good at it, if you are, props to you, because Bloxburg is kind of hard to learn to build on. Either way, regardless of what kind of player you are, it is really easy to just lose ideas and lose inspiration and just not know what to build next. I know that I am definitely in that place and will 100% be using my ideas. It happens. This video was a suggestion by Sophie on my Discord server. This is the comment. If you weren't aware of my server, now you know. I have a Discord. I'm active pretty much every single day for the most part, sometimes more active than I should be. I'm on summer break. I don't really have anything to do, so I have a channel where you guys can post video ideas for me, and if you're like Sophie and you come up with one that I'm really interested in, you can get a shout out on my channel. So that's fun. I honestly have no idea if anyone's made a video like this. I just realized I don't actually know. I didn't look it up. But anyways, these are just ideas that I took the time to sit down and think of, so I'm gonna share them with you. They're very much broad categories and like broad suggestions, so I don't know, take that as you will. Enough talking. Here is a lot of ideas for what you can make in Bloxburg when you don't know what to make. Step 1, what should you build? Is there anything that interests you? Is there a category that you maybe haven't tried out yet and maybe could be really fun? I have come up with a list of categories that I usually choose from when I go to make builds. The first one I think is fun if you are just kind of more of a casual player or you want to get into building, is challenges. There are so many different challenges. I think most of them came from The Sims. If you're familiar with The Sims, you know that Bloxburg is really similar. It's basically The Sims and Roblox. But some of the challenges that I've done are like the 10-minute challenge or the 10x10 build challenge. That's where you kind of like make up a whole design within a 10x10 square on your plot. You can do budget homes, like maybe you give yourself $10,000 to make an entire house, or $20,000 depending on what budget you want. My dog is crying. Hold on. Come on. Hey, Ayzria. Oops. Careful. Tippy sit. Okay. This isn't really a challenge, but maybe you can do like a little build off with your friend or something. Maybe you just want to build like a bedroom or see who can build the best budget house or something. I think it's always just kind of fun to challenge yourself, challenge your friends. I don't know, that could be something. The next category is restaurants or fast food places. I just had a stack of clothes behind you and they all just fell. Okay. So some of the things that I've done are Bloxburg. I've made 2 Starbucks? Whatever. I've made a Dunkin' Donuts. I don't really know if I've made anything else. Maybe. One of my most recent builds, or my most recent, was a Starbucks, and I had a lot of fun playing around with like the structural stuff. I thought it like ended up kind of like cool and fun. Maybe you have a steakhouse that you love, maybe like a Texas Roadhouse. I've never been there. I don't know why I thought of that. But those are always so much fun because you have reference pictures and it's different from a house. You know, you're not just putting a bed and a bathroom. You're actually using different pieces. So if you've never made a restaurant like that before, maybe give it a shot. It's kind of fun. The next category is community builds. So that is a very broad category. It could be a movie theater, an arcade and playhouse, kind of like a Chuck E. Cheese or like a Dave & Buster's or something. You can make a zoo. I've seen a lot of people do that recently with like the shapes and things, making animals, and I don't know. It's absolutely crazy. I can't even wrap my head around it. I would not do that, but if you're talented enough, absolutely go for it. I think they end up so cool. You can make a community pool or a hotel or a resort on the beach. You can make Disneyland or Hollywood Studios. I know that I tried starting a Disney build. I was just gonna make like the downtown Disney, whatever that street is where there's just like buildings and restaurants and stuff. I think I still want to try to do that because I think that would be really fun and like nostalgic and just like really cool. So that is definitely on my list. Maybe those categories are a little bit too much though, and you just want to do something small and just fun and explore your creativity. Make one room, like make a kid's playroom or a designer chef's kitchen, or maybe a New York City studio with like skyline in the windows, because that would look really bad on the outside of your house, but on the inside it just looks really cool and trendy. I don't know. I have made a lot of single room builds. If you're a YouTuber, if you just don't really have a lot of time, or you just really don't want to make a big house or a big build, maybe you are like me, and when you make houses you kind of make the rooms kind of simple and just give people an idea of what they could do. Maybe if you had all the time in the world, all the money in the world, you would make every single bedroom super intricate. That's kind of like how I am. So when I do the individual room builds, I make them so much more detailed than I would in a normal speed build. Maybe you do want something even more intricate than what I've mentioned before, and you really want to work on your skills with the structures and shapes. Find cool iconic architecture that you can try to recreate, such as like the Eiffel Tower, the Sistine Chapel, which is absolutely insane, but if you can do that, go for it. Again, I personally absolutely cannot, but if you are that talented, go for it. But there's so many more things than just those kinds of buildings. Like maybe there's an iconic building in the downtown area that you live in. When I lived in Austin, I knew my favorite building was, if you live in Austin, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but there's like a bank with an ice looking structure on the top, and it just looks really cool. I used to always call it the ice tower or something, the ice bank. I don't know. I don't even know what bank it is. I don't even know if it's a bank. I think it's a bank. Maybe all that's a little bit too crazy for you though, and you just want to build a house. There are so many different types of houses that you've probably never made before. Like, I know there's definitely some types that I have not explored. Maybe you've never made a beach house. Maybe you've never made a super modern mansion. Maybe you've never tried a tiny home before. Those can be kind of a challenge. Or maybe just a bungalow or craftsman's cottage thing. I don't know. But yeah, maybe go research what kinds of houses there are. I know that sometimes I even go on Zillow and look up random cities and see what houses they have for sale and just see if any of them are kind of cool. You could also try making an unconventional house, like a converted school bus or an Airstream or an RV or something. I think those are really cool. Those definitely are a little bit more advanced, especially if you're doing something like an Airstream, an RV, or a school bus, but they're definitely possible now. I think I've even seen someone make a school bus, a converted school bus before. I'm not entirely sure, but that would definitely be really fun to just explore and try out. The next category is remaking something from TV shows or movies. I've seen multiple recreations recently of the Friends apartment since there was the whole reunion. I have even started the Wizards of Waverly Place substation. That was like 2 years ago and it's still absolutely not finished, and I don't know when I'll ever finish it, but it was a fun idea and I had a lot of fun kind of trying the layouts. Back then it was kind of harder to get all of the architecture right, but now I think it's so much more possible, so maybe I'll start that up again, or if you want to try, go for it. I think it'd be so cool to see how someone else does it. If you're super talented, maybe you can do something like Hogwarts, or I don't know, like the Tony Stark mansion. Like, there's so many possibilities, so many different iconic places from TV shows and movies. So maybe think about your favorite movie and if there's something that you can recreate from it. Speaking of recreating, think Roblox games, or even games that you play outside of Roblox. You can recreate your favorite Arsenal map or some part of Royal High. I've remade the Meep City map. That was a lot of fun because I just went back and forth between the games and recreated it the best that I could. Or you can make an actual game, that like a board game. You can make Sorry or Candyland or the Game of Life or something. Or if you want it to be like an actual game for people in your server, you can make an obby. Those are really fun. You can get super creative with that and have maybe like a theme. Like, I don't know, maybe you do like volcanic themed and you just have like super cool stuff. I don't know. If you've ever played Theme Park Tycoon on Roblox or like seen videos on YouTube, I personally barely played it because I don't know, I think I tried before, but I wasn't really creative and it was kind of hard. So I would always watch people like, I think I'm a Flying Midget. I don't know who else does it or did it. I don't know if they still make these videos, but I used to always watch them do like tours of people's theme park tycoons. But if you've ever seen them, you know that they all have kind of themes. Maybe you can make a theme park. I don't know. There's literally hundreds of options within Roblox in real life, like other games. Yeah, just like explore. So those are the basic categories that I came up with, but one tip when choosing your category is consider your game passes. Many of these will need advanced placing or multiple stories in order to kind of make them at their fullest potential. So if you don't have those, then you'll want to choose accordingly. I will say though, having these game passes will open you to a world of possibilities. So if you can get your hands on them, I think they are so worth it. So step 2, after you find your category and you figure out what you want to build, go on Google or Pinterest and find your reference images. I normally use Pinterest and will make boards for each build. If you're interested in seeing my bloxburg Pinterest boards, this is my username, this is my page. I also use this for all of my decals. Here's a video of me finding my decals and telling you how I upload them. If you've seen my recent Starbucks, I needed very specific images, like I needed the menu and just like promotional posters and stuff. Step 3, after you have your idea and you have your reference images, what's your budget? You need funds. Do you have a budget, or do you just need money? If you are a new player and you're trying to tackle something like Hogwarts, that might be kind of difficult. You definitely need money to do that. Or maybe it's a build where you're limiting yourself to a certain amount of funds. So make sure you get yourself that money. Nothing is more annoying than being on a roll and having to stop and make money. So pick your mode of generating funds, whether that be working or buying it or asking people. I don't judge. Whatever you want to do to get your money, you just have to get it somehow. If you choose to work, it is generally a rule of thumb, I'm sure you know, stick with the same job, get yourself to the highest level possible, and make the most money for your time. I personally haven't worked in a really long time, but when I was working, my favorite was the pizza job. I'm not even gonna lie, I don't think I've worked in years, so I don't know if anything's changed, but it's probably still my favorite. Speaking of, if you want to see me work for the first time for like hours straight, I would hate it, but I think it would be kind of like fun. I don't know. I think those are my top 3, not ideas. Those are always the 3 steps that I take when I start making builds. Let me know in the comments what you're building, or if you have plans, or maybe you have other ideas of categories that I didn't even think of. Let me know in the comments. Share your ideas with everyone, or if you post speed builds on YouTube, or if you have a Twitter where you post all your builds, maybe you have an Instagram, leave them down below. Share your creativity with everyone. So yeah, I hope this video was at least a little bit helpful. I definitely got some ideas going for myself, so all of my social medias are down below if you want to go check those out. Yeah, that's all I have.